Il est
It is 7 o'clock. I will call the meeting to order. Before we adopt the agenda, there are two additions. I know it's not the practice, but there is under a correspondence and another in camera. The first one is 8.2, letter. So that's a letter from him or her. And the other is 12.2, rural internet. A motion is in order for adoption, moved by Councillor. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion carried. Under B, is there any declaration of conflict of interest? Anything that could bring you into a conflict? So we'll go on to 3. Presentations, 3.1, the Long Service Award from the NSFM. I will read a small preamble. It will be followed in English.
prix de long service aux conseillers municipaux à travers la province qui ont consacré leur temps et leur connaissance au gouvernement municipal pendant un nombre d'années notable. En 2019, 3 conseillers de la municipalité de Clare ont reçu des prix de long service de la Fédération des municipalités de la Nouvelle-Écosse. Ce soir, il me fait grand plaisir de les présenter au nom de la FMNA et de la municipalité du district de Clare. J'aimerais offrir mes félicitations aux conseillers suivants, le sous-préfet du district numéro 1, Neil Doussa, pour ses 15 ans de service, le conseiller du district numéro 2, Danny Hill, pour ses 15 ans de service, et conseiller du district numéro 5, Brian Como, pour ses 15 ans de service. Every year, the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities presents long service awards to councillors province-wide who have devoted their time and knowledge to the municipal government for a milestone number of years. In 2019, 3 councillors from the municipality of Clare received long service awards from the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities. This evening, it is my honor to present them on behalf of the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities and the municipality of the District of Clare. I would like to congratulate the following councillors. From District 1, Deputy Warden Neil Doussa for his 15 years of service. From District 2, Councillor Danny Hill for his 15 years of service. And from District 5, Councillor Brian Como for his 15 years of service. Gentlemen, please join me so that I may present you with your scrolls of recognition. Je vous invite à vous joindre à moi pour que je puisse vous présenter votre parchemin de reconnaissance.
Alors, sous-préfet.
So, Deputy Warden Neil Doucette.
Conseiller Danny.
Félicitations.
Congratulations to the 3 councillors for their 15 years. It's a long time. I don't know if you want to say a few words, Councillor Neil. I want to say thank you very much. I would like to say that 15 years have gone by quite fast. With the former councillors and the councillors who are there now, I want to thank you for your patience to have endured me. I would like to say also that we have accomplished A lot of projects in 15 years, and there are more to come. It's a lot of fun to work in the municipality of Clare, and I just want to simply say that I hope again to continue to work for District 1 and the entire municipality. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Doucette.
Thank you for giving us the award tonight. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to thank the residents of District 2 for having confidence and trust in me to let me represent them in council. And I'd like to do it for 4 more years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. For me, it's an honor and a privilege to serve as municipal councillor for the municipality of Clare. I was happy to be able to represent the residents of District 5 and the community during the past 15 years. Thank you. Thank you and congratulations again. We will go on to item 4, adoption of minutes. December 18, 2019, regular council meetings. Any errors or omissions? (4.2), January 8, 2020, the council and committee meeting. Any errors or omissions? Moved by Councillor DeVoe and seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. Under 5, business arising from previous council meetings, there is nothing this evening. The report of the Warden's Activity Report. I don't have a big report. On January 2nd, I attended to a supper with the students in medicine with a few members of the recruitment committee. As you know, it is a practice that every year, every Christmas, we invite the students in medicine to meet with us. It's a good way to do some networking and see how things are going. We have been doing this for a few years and it's going well. On January 7th, I attended a meeting with Jeff Nickerson and a few representatives from Cook Aquaculture to have a discussion on their operations in southwestern Nova Scotia. It had been a while since they did not meet with us, and they are looking at putting a committee in place, a liaison committee, and they will look for members to sit on that committee to have communications with the community and aquaculture. So if you know anybody who is interested, they would like to have some names. On January 9th, I attended the Clare Health Council meeting to discuss the challenges that the municipality faces in health and to see at the possibilities of collaboration. And again, it was a good meeting. On January 11th, I attended to the banquet of the firemen in Little Brook. It is really a good evening as usual, but one thing that was notable is that they were giving some long service awards, and Andre Leblanc, who is retiring as a fireman after 40 years of service, that is impressive. I think he held all positions that are available there. And congratulations, Andre Leblanc. And that is my report. Thank you. If you have any questions, Councillor DeVoe, thank you. For Cook's Aquaculture, will they want some members of the council on their committee or members of the public? They want members of the public because in reality, you have the right to sit on the committee, but if there is business with cooks that come to the council, it'll put you in conflict. So that's the message. They want members of the public rather than councillors.
Well, they should send Andre a letter for his 40 years of service. That's quite a bit.
Je suis d'accord avec ça, 100%.
I agree with that 100%. It is noted. Any more questions? So, official statements from members of council, and I think the letter falls into the presentations, but are there any other official present statements? I would like to take this occasion to thank Cantley and Maya from the Metegan Station who celebrated 60th anniversary, and we should send them certificate of recognition. 60 years is a long time. Any more official statements? If not, we will go on to correspondence. 8.1, letter from Chris Broughton, CAO of Municipality of Barrington.
Has made an application to the Department of Education and Early Childhood Development to be able to provide a personal development credit to students who join a volunteer fire department and complete the required training. Joining a volunteer fire department helps students with interpersonal and communication skills, as well as problem solving while serving their community. Along with the personal development of students, this program also has the potential to increase fire department memberships. The age of firefighters is increasing, and departments are finding it difficult to attract younger members. It is key to attract people into the fire department while they are young, so they can form a lifelong connection with the service. The Barrington Municipal Council would like to request your support for this application in the form of a letter or otherwise to allow schools in Nova Scotia to offer a personal development credit for students that join the fire department and undergo the required training. Yours truly, Chris Frodden, Chief Administrative Officer.
As-tu des questions?
Any questions or comments?
I think we should send a letter of support because the fire departments are having trouble with recruitment and retention, and this could solve both problems, you know, get them interested at a young age. I think we should support the letter.
Anybody else? Councillor LeBlanc? I agree with Danny. I think it is a good idea to send that. It is a good way to encourage the youths and to keep them there. I think there is a consensus to send a letter of support. It is noted. We'll go on to 8.2, a letter from Syed, NDP caucus.
I'm writing to you on behalf of Nova Scotia NDP leader Gary Burrell in hopes of setting up a meeting with the municipality of the District of Clare Council. Mr. Burrell has spent much time traveling around the province, connecting with and listening to individuals and organizations in an effort to hear various perspectives and concerns. He is very interested in hearing your thoughts on Nova Scotia's current municipal landscape and would look forward to meeting you at your convenience. Please let me know if there is an upcoming council meeting where Gary may have an opportunity to speak with council members. Thank you, Aliyah Yassin Saeed, Caucus Coordinator, Nova Scotia NDP Caucus.
What is your desire? Do you want to invite him for a council and committee meeting in March? Or a council meeting? We already have a presentation, so March or April, depending on when he can come. We can give him the dates for the next 2 or 3 council meetings. All in agreement? Let's go to the CAO Director report. My report is a bit small this year because it's a new year, but on the rural internet, as the warden mentioned, it is a dossier we are working on. We are still in contract negotiation. The discussion will be held in camera this evening, but for the people on the air, the dossier is going forward. We hope to get some news in the next couple of weeks. For the welcoming communities, the action plan was sent to Immigration Canada just before the holidays. We had discussions on the project, especially on the governance. especially the municipality, the Acadian Society of Clare, and the Immigration Réseau of Clare of Nova Scotia, who will work on the project, and they will manage the responsibility of the project. But we will have a role to play. The intention is to submit a plan. Once the plan will be at the minister's office of the, and it is approved by the department, then we will look at finalizing the budgets and to do some revisions to the system in the action plan. And also look at the possibility of a protocol agreement, the municipality of Clare, with the Acadian Society of Clare.
If everything goes as planned, the municipality, with your permission, would be responsible to the communication aspect and sensibilisation, that there were activities that we'll do inside the plan. The budget-wise, it will be 35% of the budget, which is an amount that's quite interesting, and 95,000 per year to help once again to keep the immigrants in our community. For the Veteran Center, before the Christmas, we had worked to revise our financial request and send it. But we have met PECA to, the decision was taken to remove our request. We are still in discussions to see what our discussion regarding the Veterans Center. We're discussing about the facade and the appearance of the building and also the energetic aspect of the building. We need to have a needs assessment, which required a lot of work before we had the information what we wanted to do to include in the request. So since we did not have all these information now, and according to the cash flow was less of a concern than what was initially presented, it was suggested to do the work necessary to see if we want to submit this request later on, or if we want to wait to see what will be available on the federal grant. So this type of work is being done, especially in the design aspect. We are doing what needs to be done to do this project. This will come to the next project, tourism, public. This request has been sent to the APECA, and with the suggestion of we made an amendment to reduce the cost and look at the design of the exterior of the building. We communicated with Uplands and Rad Architects to see if they would be interested in doing this type of work. The ACOA was agreed with this approach. They said they would like to do this and submitted a proposal, but the focus of this work will be to look at the aesthetic of the modernization of the exterior of the building, and also the energetic, what can we do to make it more accessible. For this project, we're still waiting from news from ACOA, and yesterday we discussed about this with ACOA, and they said we should have news within the next couple of weeks for what is the community center in Havelock. As you know, we have submitted our request to the New Horizons project. We had put a budget of 50,000, and the request is 50% to 25%, which is the maximum for this program. We have not received any news from New Horizons yet, and they are sure that we will get news very shortly. So there is a bit of time before we get the final decision, because at item 11.6 we will invite tenders for renovations, and that is why I'm mentioning this tonight. Our object is to have this project completed inside the present fiscal year, but because of the New Horizons dates, I think it will be spread on 2 fiscal years. Regarding our finances, on 31st December, the municipality had revenues of $8 million, and out of this,
6 million. 6 million in expenses for a surplus of $1,951,181. Again, on December 31st, the municipality had a balance of $2,355,373 in the operations account and $89,030 in the capital budget, and in reserves $5,600,000. And this last figure can be broken down in operational $452,558, in reserves for capital $3,429,428, a landfill closure reserve $327,072, and a gas tax reserve of $1,410,008. And for the gas tax, we have one deposit yet to come this year. For the meetings that I attended,
meetings since the December 18th, there was, as the warden has mentioned earlier, we went to the annual meeting with the students, medical students. I went to a meeting of the board with the Thibault and Neil Dousa. I met with representatives from the road of Puerto Major to discuss the possibility to ask regarding the bylaw 34 regarding the maintenance of this road. And finally, I went to a public consultation today with CERMAC. The session was very well. There was a lot of person who was there, about 100 people who were there, so there was a lot of interest and a lot of discussions regarding the meetings that are coming up. The REN will make a workshop on the 23rd of January in Tuscot and on the 24th of January in Digby. I met also Jean-Guy Viennot on the 24th of January as part of an update for the new strategic plan for the economic development plan. And finally, CERMAC will have a meeting here in the municipality of Clare. This will be held on the 19th February at the Veterans Center. For the meeting with CERMAC, where there were a lot of people that were opposed to their plans. There were quite a few who had opinions that were quite strong, not necessarily just the domain of agriculture. In general, there was other people there who had concerns what would be the potential impact regarding the fishing industry. But I think there were people who had questions and comments that were quite strong. Because I am not from the Digby area, there was quite a few fishermen in the hall, and not many of them were talking specifically of the fishing and how it would influence the fishing industry. But to answer your questions, there were quite a few people there who had questions, quite strong questions. Could you repeat the discussion for the date at here with Cermak? It will be the February 6th. It will start at 5 o'clock. They'll have the same format as they had in Digby. There will be presentations, kiosks around the hall with different aspects and technologies that they use for their operations. And there will be people from Cermak in each of these kiosks to explain how it works, what is their process. And from then on, after the first hour, they will make a presentation, and then they open the hall for questions. So we'll be following the same process. Are there any other questions? And so we go to 10, committee reports, building committee.
The construction report for the entire year of 2018, we had 214 permits issued for $10.5 million worth of construction. And for the past year, 2019, we had 210 permits for $10.1 million of construction. We were lagging quite a bit behind most of the year, but a big finish, put it almost exact as the year before, so that's really good.
Ouais, c'est des bons.
These are good figures. Are there questions on this report? Then we go to 10.2, Police Advisory Board, Deputy Warden Neil. Thank you. We had a meeting on the 6th of January of the committee. The Sergeant Daniel Leblanc presented facts and reports, and also Leblanc, the new corporal, who works from Metegan now and in Clare, is a person who's from Wedgeport. Not very old, not very young. He has a lot of experience. He has worked in other countries and has a wide experience in the army first and now with the police. So he is in our region for, in English, there was tax.
Le 1er 2019 jusqu'à décembre le 31 2019. On regarde les break and enter dans les besoins, business, il y en avait un. Les break and enter dans des sheds, et ça, il y en avait un. Break and enter dans les résidences, dans les maisons, il y en avait 4, qui ont été rapportés en tout cas. Impaired driving, ils ont rapporté 20. Il y en a 6 qui ont été chargés, 14 qui avaient passé d'évidence. Des assauts, il y en avait 16. Des charges, il y en avait 3. Et puis 13 qui avaient passé d'évidence. Common Police Activities, c'est CSO checks. Ça, c'est du monde que c'est du house arrest. Il y en a à peu près 6 ou 7 dans Clare. Ça fait qu'ils ont fait 101 checks. Ça veut dire qu'ils ont visité ce monde-là 101 fois dans ces 4 mois-là. Il faut tout le temps qu'ils aillent les voir. Des 911 Acts, il y en avait 18. Des fois, c'est du monde qui fait des erreurs. Plusieurs fois, c'est succès, c'est une erreur, mais il faut encore qu'ils aillent le voir. Des check stops, il y en a fait 34. Mental Health Act, il y en avait 23. Suspicious Person Vehicles, il y en avait 6. Well-being Checks, il y en avait 6. Et puis Off-Road Vehicle Act, ça c'est des four-wheelers, des affaires de même, il y en avait 2. Des Traffic Offenses pour la vitesse, speeding, il y en avait 30 charges. Other Moving Traffic, il y en avait 13. Puis Other Non-Moving Traffic, il y en avait 34. Et il a dit que c'était pas mal calme dans Clare, c'est tranquille. Il nous compare toujours à Barrington, qui a le même montant de personnes. Et puis, ça va bien.
C'est bien. As-tu des questions? Sinon, alors, la 11 nouvelles affaires. 11.1, motion pour accorder une subvention à l'école secondaire de Clare. Voulais-tu?
Oui.
Expliquez-le.
Si vous vous rappelez, en 2018-2019, comme partie du Grants to Organizations Programme, on avait reçu une demande de l'école secondaire de Clare pour l'achat un système d'entraînement de badminton. C'était le BK Night Trainer Pro. Le projet, c'était un partenariat entre l'école secondaire de Clare, l'Université Sainte-Anne, la municipalité et le conseil de santé de Clare. À cause que l'achat de l'équipement avait des bénéfices pour notre département de loisirs et leur programmation durant les mois d'été, la municipalité s'était mis d'accord de faire une contribution de 1 500 $ envers l'achat du système. C'était un système de 6 000 $, alors notre contribution représentait 25 % du coût d'achat. Normalement, quand on approuve un projet sous Grants Organizations, il faut que l'argent soit dépensé dans l'année fiscale que le projet est approuvé. Dans ce cas-ci, le projet est approuvé au mois de février. L'école secondaire a tout de suite placé la commande pour l'équipement, mais malheureusement, il y avait des délais pour recevoir l'équipement. On n'était pas au courant des délais. Et c'était mis sur back order à plusieurs reprises. Alors, ils ont finalement reçu l'équipement au mois de décembre 2019. Alors là, ils sont venus nous voir avec la facture pour qu'on débourse notre montant. De plus, le coût de l'équipement était un peu plus cher que 6 000 $. Je n'ai pas reçu le chiffre final, mais c'est entre 800 000 $. Alors, la recommandation du personnel et de moi-même, notre raisonnement pour appuyer le projet au début n'a pas changé. L'équipement va encore bénéficier de nos programmes d'été. Je sais que le ESDC et l'Université Sainte-Anne sont encore intéressés de s'en servir. Alors, la recommandation, ça serait premièrement d'honorer notre contribution qu'on avait fait en 2018-2019. Mais au lieu de faire 1 500 $, ce qu'on propose, c'est de reviser la motion pour faire une contribution de 25 % du coût d'achat de l'équipement jusqu'à un maximum de 1 750 $. Alors, c'est ça la recommandation.
On a-t-il quelqu'un qui va faire la motion, conseil de vote?
Merci. Je propose que le conseil de la municipalité du district de Clare accorde une subvention de 25 % du prix d'achat d'un système d'entraînement de badminton qui est appelé le BK Night Trainer Pro pour un montant maximum de 1 750 $ à l'école secondaire de Clare.
Quelqu'un qui appuie ça, appuyé par conseiller Leblanc. Y a-t-il de la discussion sur la motion? Conseiller Hill? OK. No.
Sorry about that. Mic wasn't on. Yeah. Any discussion on the motion? Ready for the vote? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion carried. 11.2, motion to award a request for proposal external auditing services. On December 6th, the municipality launched a tender call for the external auditing services. The request closed on January 3rd, 2020, and the tender was to look at the next 5 years. So on January 3rd, at the closing of the tender, we only had one firm that submitted. It was Grant Thornton LLP. Grant Thornton is our present auditors, and we are very satisfied with the services we get from them. And if we look at the price that they tendered, it would be fixed for the next 5 years from $25,000 the first year, which is essentially what we are paying now, to a maximum of $26,000 in the fifth fiscal year. So it's a good value for the level of service we received, and the recommendation from the Department of Finance and myself is that we accept the tender from Grant Thornton as presented. Anybody wish to make the motion? Councillor Comeau? I move that the municipality of the District of Clare accept the proposal submitted by Grant Thornton LLP in response to the external auditing services request for the proposal and the following amounts for each of the next 5 fiscal years. 25,000 plus HST for 2019-20, 25,000 plus HST for 2020-21, 25,500 plus HST for the 2021-22 fiscal year, 26,000 plus HST for 2022-2023 fiscal year, and 26,000 plus HST for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. Does anybody wish to second the motion? Councillor Thibault, any discussion on the motion? I think in general, we were extremely happy with the service. The tender was more in terms of governments to make sure to give the chance to everyone, but we are happy that they have resubmitted. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. 11.3, motion to grant a tender capacity assessment of the wastewater treatment plants. Last year in the budget, we had allowed an amount to look at the capacity of our wastewater treatment plants, especially in Meteghan. And the reason for that is we knew that we would have the construction of a new villa in the next years, so we wanted to make sure that the present wastewater in Meteghan had the capacity to for this new building. And we wanted to branch Riverside Lobster in the system, so we judged it prudent to look at the capacity. For reasons of time and projects on the go now, we were not able to do that study. So in the meantime, there was the announcement for a new school. 2 sites are being considered. One would allow that the new school hook up to the Meteghan sewer system. And since that time, we had calls from engineers in the province with specific questions about the capacity of our treatment plant in Meteghan. And again, it's not questions that we can answer without bringing in some engineers who could really look at the study and look at the capacity of the plant and to analyze it. So that being said, we don't have a problem of capacity, but operationals. We want to look at the Bellevos Cove plant also to evaluate. It is something that our staff here is not equipped to look into. So because it is something that is a rush, we were contacted twice by the province so far. So we contacted EXP, which is an engineering firm that we dealt with recently and that did work for our Meteghan plant, to see if there would be something they could do for us, and if yes, that they give us a price and a deadline and when they can start. So they submitted a price and the methodology that they would use to look at what the price is lower than what I thought, and it would put the focus on Meteghan, but also the work that we could do at Belleville Cove, and we are looking at $9,850 plus HST. And again, because of the new school, the new villa, Riverside that is hooked on, and when the new villa will be hooked on, we still have to look at what we will do with the old villa, so there will be some pressure on the Meteghan system. We want to make sure that we are able to accommodate all these operations, and if not, we want to give us the time to accommodate. So that's the goal for this project. Does anybody wish to make the motion? Councillor Poitier? I move that the municipality of the District of Clare accept a proposal submitted by EXP for the valuation assessment of the wastewater treatment plant in Metegan and Belleville Cove in the amount of $9,850 plus HST. Seconded by Councillor Hill. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. 11.4, motion to name a route, the Chemin Lac Patrice. We were approached by residents of a private residences on that at the Patrice Lake to name their road, and they want to name the road. We worked with Danielle Godet here to follow the necessary steps. There are 4 residents on that road, and we received letters. We received letters from 3 of them to confirm their support for the name. At the 4th person, we did not receive any answer. It's not that they are against, but we just didn't receive a letter. But our policy says that we need 66.6% of the residents in favor of this name changes, and in this case we have 75%. So this is a name that is in French and in English. So the recommendation of the staff is that we accept the choice or the request of the residents and that we name it in English, Patrice Lake Road and Chemin du Lac Patrice. Anybody wish to make the motion? Councillor Hill?
I move that the municipality of the District of Clare name the road shared by the property identification numbers 302-01131, 3001-3874, 3001-4567, 3001-4575, and 3001-3866 as follows: Patrice Lake Road or Chemin du Lac Patrice.
Anybody second the motion? Councillor DeVoe? Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. 11.5, motion to write a letter of support for Université Sainte-Anne. As you remember, the President Alistair Surratt came in front of the council about 2 years ago that they were interested in exploring the idea of a track and field at Université Sainte-Anne and to see if it is something that the council in principle would support. This letter comes from this. They contacted you. Maybe you can comment. I just wanted to note that it had been a while since he came, in case you don't remember. Essentially, Mr. Surratt had discussions with the federal and provincial government representatives regarding the project. The project evolved since he came here at the council. It's a bit bigger in terms of scope, and so the budget is being developed. There is no fixed amount yet, but I understand that it is still in discussion with the province and the federal governments. And discussion with Alistair recently was not a question of if the municipality can give an amount to the land, to the project, because they did not know the final cost. But what they are looking for now is a letter saying that the municipality supports the project and it will allow them to continue their steps with the provincial and federal governments. And in my discussion with Alistair, his goal is to see that they want to minimize the effect on the community, and I'm talking about the municipality and the university, for the construction of that track and field. So we want to approach the federal and the province to cover the big part of that project. Anybody wish to make the motion for the letter of support? Councillor Thibault?
I move that the Council of the Municipality of the District of Clare write a letter in support of the proposed track and field facility at Universitesetaan. Seconded by the new order. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion carried. 11.6, motion to award a tender for renovations at 4628 Highway 340 in Havelock. As mentioned earlier in my report, as part of our request for New Horizons, we submitted a project, a budget of $50,000 to the program. And the time we thought we'd had news regarding this request in January, so we said that before the Christmas we would send an invitation to people to present a tender for this project. The date was January 9th. We received 3 tenders, and evaluating the 3 tenders, we recommend the lowest tender of Shepcon Construction for the amount of $27,488 plus HST. This is quite less than we had budgeted for this project, but it's an old building and maybe there might be a few surprises when the work will begin. So we have a good buffer if we get accepted by New Horizons. Would somebody make the motion? Danny?
I move that the municipality of the District of Clare award the tender for the renovations to 4628 Highway 340, Havelock, to Shepcom Construction Limited in the amount of $27,488 plus HST.
Quelqu'un qui a
Somebody second by Councillor Deveau. Are there any questions or comments on this motion? The only question I would have, we went to tender, is does this depend upon the fact that we will get the project of New Horizons? That's a good point. In the tender document, we had accept that this will be all depend on the financing that we would be given by New Horizons. So the project of New Horizons, if we start the Horizon before having news from them, we will be automatically disqualified. So the intention is to prepare ourselves to start the works during the winter months, while thinking that we had an answer from New Horizon with the objective to finish it before the 31st of March within the present fiscal year. But if we'll be ready, so the motion is dependent on the financing that we would get from New Horizons. Just to clarify, it's in the tender document. Is there any other discussion on this motion? Are you ready for the question? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion carried. 11.7, Dr. Elba Como, retirement. As you know, Dr. Como took officially his retirement on December 31st to close his practice. First of all, I'd like to hope that he has a good retirement, very well needed, and we really appreciate the work he has done in the municipality, and his patients will no doubt miss him. All those who might have spoken to know that it should be retiring, as has been the practice in the past when a doctor retires from the community. The municipality does a open house or banquet, as we did for Dr. D'Entremont, and I discussed with Dr. Como a few different times, and we looked at the different options that we could do, and he, at the end of the day, what he asked for is that the amount of money that we would have spent on an open house or a banquet or a supper to celebrate him, he would like that we give this amount to the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation in his name. So we will give him a plaque, but he would not like to have a ceremony, but the amount and the photos. So this being said, we will make the amount that we will do to the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation. We figured that the amount would be approximately $5,000, which represents essentially what he has given to our community. So if you agree with this amount, it is also for discussion. If this amount is okay and reasonable for you, we will make a motion to give him a call and give him the presentation. Is there somebody who wants to do the motion? I move that the municipality of the District of Clare make a donation in the amount of $5,000 to the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation on behalf of Dr. El Bacamo in celebration of his career and years of service to the community. Is there somebody to second this? Seconded by Conseil Deveau. Is there any discussion on this motion? As I already said, we've been very lucky to have Dr. come out to serve our community. All the patients will gonna miss him, and everybody agrees that he has to take time for himself. And in the name of the council, we will contact him, and we hope that he will have a very good retirement. So we'll invite him to come here to take a photo and maybe have an article in Le Courrier. So we go 12, closed session, 2 items, public security, and 12.2 rural internet. This being said, there we have a motion to go on closed session proposed by Peter and seconded by Councillor Leblanc. Motion agreed, passed.
Carried.
Je suis vraiment pas trop